Tunde and Emeka got hired the same month, sitting side by side in the same NEPA cut office on the island, both earning exactly and 350,000 a month. 3 years later, Tunde owns a plot of land in Abuja outright, manages 2 thriving income streams outside his day job, and hasn't panicked about an unexpected bill in 18 months. Emeka, meanwhile, just asked HR when the next salary review is because his account hits 4 days before payday every single month without fail. Same salary, same city, same 3 years, but 2 entirely opposite financial realities. The only question worth asking is, what did Tunde do with his money that Emeka never figured out? The truth is, the salary was never the problem. Most people were taught how to earn money, but nobody ever taught them what to do with it the exact moment it lands. Not their parents, not their schools, and certainly not their employers. So they do what feels logical, they pay their bills, live their lives, and assume that saving whatever tiny bit is left over will eventually add up to something big. It never does. This is the missing instruction manual you were never given. These are the 8 specific sequential steps that transform a monthly salary from a mere survival mechanism into a compounding wealth engine. Pay close attention because the very last step is the one that makes all the others permanent. Section 1, the reason your salary disappears so fast is not because you are bad with money. It is because the entire system is designed to empty your bank account before your brain even realizes you are wealthy. Most people think that when payday arrives, they are getting a fresh start with a clean slate. But the truth is much darker. By the time that notification pings on your phone, your money is already spoken for. Your rent, your monthly subscriptions, your old debts, and your family responsibilities have already claimed their share. You never actually hold your whole salary at once because it was never truly yours to keep. This is what we call pre-committed income syndrome, and it is the invisible trap keeping millions of hardworking people broke. To see how this works, look at a normal month for Emeka. On the 25th, his salary lands, and for about 5 minutes he feels rich. But the trap springs immediately. By the 26th, his landlord takes a huge chunk for rent. On the 27th, his cable television and internet bills automatically renew. By the 28th, he sends money home to his parents and pays back a friend who lent him cash last week. Before the first week of the new month even ends, more than half of his salary is completely gone, and he has barely bought groceries yet. Emeka did not go on a wild shopping spree. He did not buy expensive clothes or party all weekend. He just lived a normal life. Yet his money vanished into thin air because it was already promised to other people before he even earned it. The money was gone before it arrived. If you do not learn how to break this cycle, you will spend your entire life working just to pass your paycheck along to everyone else, leaving absolutely nothing for yourself. Section 2. The oldest piece of advice about money is also the biggest lie you have ever been told. Almost everyone tells you to earn your salary, pay your bills, buy what you need, and then save whatever money is left over. It sounds safe and it sounds logical, but it is mathematically guaranteed to leave you broke. This method will never work because of a simple rule of human nature. Your lifestyle will always expand to swallow up every single naira left in your account. If you leave your savings for the end of the month, there will never be anything left to save. The numbers prove this. Experts who study how people handle money have found a shocking fact. People who try to save whatever is left at the end of the month end up with 80% less wealth over time than people who take out a fixed piece of their money the exact moment they get paid. 80% is a massive difference. It means the old way of saving is a total failure, even if you try really hard. The biggest mistake people make is thinking, I will start saving more money when I start earning a bigger salary. But that is a trap. If you cannot save money when you are earning a little, you will never save money when you earn a lot because your bills and habits will just grow right along with your income. Look at the math in real life. A person earning 200,000 a month who takes out their savings first before spending a single kobo will end up much wealthier by the time they turn 40 than a person earning 600,000 a month who waits until the end of the month to save what is left. The high earner thinks they are rich, but they are actually running on a treadmill that never stops. The low earner who saves first is building real freedom. To build a wealth engine like Tunde did, you have to completely flip the script. You must stop feeding yourself with the leftovers of your own hard work. Section 3. To see how easily this trap catches you, look at the story of Ada. Ada is 31 years old and works as a marketing manager. She earns a great salary of $480,000 every single month. By anyone's standards, Ada did everything right. She went to a good school, worked extra hours, and got promoted quickly. She is not reckless with her money, she does not gamble, and she does not buy flashy things just to show off. Every single decision she made with her money seemed completely reasonable and smart at the time. Yet, she still managed to lose a whole decade of wealth. 4 years ago, Ada was earning $240,000 a month. When she got her first big promotion, her salary doubled. Naturally, she decided it was time to move. Her old apartment was small, the roof leaked, and the neighborhood was loud. Moving to a nicer, safer place for $150,000 more a month seemed like a sensible choice for her health and safety. 90 days later, that extra money was completely absorbed by her new rent, and her bank account felt exactly the same as before. A year later, her car started breaking down every week. Mechanic bills were piling up, and she was often late for important work meetings. So, she did what anyone would do. She used her next pay raise to get a reliable, slightly newer car with a monthly payment. It made total sense. But just like before, within 3 months, her new salary was fully locked into that car payment. Next came a newer phone because her old one could not run the latest work apps, followed by better clothes for meetings with big clients. Each choice was logical on its own, but together they built an invisible ceiling that completely trapped her. Today, Ada is 31 years old. Her income has doubled over the last 4 years, but her actual wealth has not moved at all. If she lost her job tomorrow, her net worth would functionally be zero, and she would be in deep trouble within a month. Ada spent 10 years working hard and climbing the career ladder, but because she upgraded her life every time she upgraded her pay, she was actually just running in place. Section 4. Most people already know that saving and investing your money early is better than starting late. It sounds like basic common sense, but almost nobody understands the actual math behind it or how much waiting just a few years truly costs you. Waiting to start is not a harmless mistake. It is a quiet disaster that destroys your future wealth before you even get a chance to build it. Let us look at the real numbers to see how this works. Imagine two people who both save exactly $30,000 every single month and put it into a safe investment that grows over time. The first person starts at age 28. The second person waits just 7 years and starts at age 35. By the time they both turn 50 years old, you might think the first person has a bit more money because they started a little earlier. But the actual gap between them is not double and it is not triple. The gap is so massive that the person who started at 28 can retire comfortably and never work again, while the person who waited until 35 is still completely trapped depending on their monthly salary just to survive. Take a moment right now to think about your own life. How many months have passed since you got your very first paycheck? Every single one of those months was a missed opportunity that you can never get back. If you have been working for 5 years without investing, you have lost 60 precious months of compounding growth. When you choose to wait until next month or next year to start managing your salary, you are not making a neutral choice. You are making an active decision to steal wealth from your future self just to pay for your lifestyle today. You are trading your long-term freedom for short-term comfort. Every single month you do nothing is another month you choose to stay locked in the salary trap. Section 5. To break out of this trap, you have to make a move that feels completely wrong at first. You must pay yourself before you pay anyone else. This means before you pay your rent, before you buy groceries, and before you pay for your phone data, a piece of your salary must go straight into your own pocket. Most people think it is irresponsible to ignore bills and save money first. But this counterintuitive move is actually the only method that works in the real world. You must treat this money as a fixed, non-negotiable expense just like rent. The exact moment your salary lands, that cash must move automatically into a completely separate bank account that is very hard for you to access. Look at how this plays out over 3 years with 2 different people earning the exact same income. The first person pays all their bills first, buys their food, hangs out with friends, and promises to save whatever is left over at the end of the month. The second person sets up their account to automatically take out 20% of their salary the very second it arrives, and then they live on whatever is left. By month 36, the first person has an account balance of almost zero, feeling stressed and wondering where all their money went. The second person has a massive pile of wealth that gives them total peace of mind. They both have the same income and the same basic expenses, but their bank accounts look radically different. To make this work, you need to know the benchmarks. 10% is the absolute minimum just to survive. If you want to start building a real future, you need to save 20%. If you are truly serious about changing your life and becoming wealthy like Tunde, you should push that number to 30%. Do not wait until tomorrow to think about this. The immediate application is simple. Open that second inconvenient bank account before this video ends. Transfer your chosen percentage the moment you get paid next and learn to live on the rest. If you do not pay yourself first, you are actively choosing to make everyone else rich while you stay broke. Section 6. Once you start paying yourself first, you will quickly notice your savings account beginning to grow, but simply saving your money is not enough to make you wealthy. In fact, if your money is just sitting inside a standard savings account, it is actually losing its real value every single month because the prices of food, rent, and fuel keep going up. To truly change your life, you must find the leverage point. This means you have to take that saved money and deploy it into things that grow on their own, making your money work hard shifts for you while you sleep. This is where the multiplier effect lives. Instead of letting your cash sit idle, you move it into low-risk investments that pay you back. This could mean buying treasury bills, investing in index funds that own pieces of top companies, or putting money into real estate trusts that own big buildings. When you do this, your money starts making more money without requiring a single second of your extra time. Let us look at the massive gap this creates over 5 years. If you leave $50,000 a month in a regular savings account, the bank gives you a tiny bit of interest that cannot keep up with rising prices. After 5 years, your money buys much less than it used to. But if you put that same $50,000 every month into a low-risk investment vehicle that earns a steady return, the difference is huge. You do not just get your money back, you get a massive extra pile of cash created by your investments. This is what we call the second income principle. Think of it this way. Every single naira you deploy correctly is like hiring a tiny worker. That worker never sleeps, never calls in sick, never complains, and never asks you for a raise. They just work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to bring more money back to your pocket. If you only work for your salary, your wealth stops the moment you stop working. But when you train your money to work shifts for you, your wealth multiplies automatically. Section 7. The monthly salary trap is not just held together by bad habits or a lack of math skills. It is actually kept alive by how you view yourself. As long as you see yourself only as an employee, someone whose financial survival depends entirely on what a boss decides to pay them, every single tool and rule we discuss will feel like a temporary chore. To truly break free and build permanent wealth like Tunde did, you have to completely change your identity. You must stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a business owner. This means making a massive mental shift. You must stop acting like a simple income earner and start acting like a capital allocator, which is a person whose main job is to decide where to place money so it can grow. An employee always asks one basic question: how do I earn more money from my job? A capital allocator asks a completely different question: how do I deploy the money I already have more effectively? To understand this shift, let us look at a simple decision made on a Monday morning by two different people who have the exact same bank balance. The person who wakes up thinking like an employee opens their banking app, checks the balance, and immediately thinks about what they can afford to buy or which bills they need to pay this week. They see their bank account a tool for survival and comfort. On the other side of the room, the person who wakes up thinking like a capital allocator opens the exact same app. But they are not looking to spend. They check their portfolio to see how their investments are doing, and they look for ways to move their money into assets that bring in fresh returns. They do not see their bank account as spending money. They see it as a chest of tools ready to be put to work. Even though both people have the exact same amount of cash in their accounts on Monday morning, they have a completely different relationship with money. When you change your identity from a worker who waits for a paycheck to an owner who deploys capital, the salary trap loses its power over you forever. Section 8. To understand how this story ends, we must look back at Tunde and Emeka one last time. The biggest secret about Tunde's success is that he did not earn significantly more money than Emeka. He did not get lucky, he did not win the lottery, and he did not have a rich uncle to hand him land in Abuja. What Tunde had was a system. He chose to direct his money before it could be spent by other people. He deployed his cash into investments before rising prices could erode its value, and he allowed that money to compound before a fancy lifestyle could claim it. Emeka is not a bad person and he is not lazy. He is actually a highly capable, hard-working person who is just operating without a proper framework. Sadly, millions of people do the exact same thing every single month. They work hard, but they have no plan for the money once it hits their hands. But you are different now. You have just spent time learning the exact steps that separate these two lives, which means you now have the complete framework in your hands. The truth about your financial life can be summed up in one simple sentence. Your monthly salary is not your ceiling, it's just your raw material. What you choose to build with that raw material is entirely your decision. A salary alone will never make you rich, but what you do with that salary can change your family's future forever. So, do not let this be another video you watch and completely forget about by tomorrow morning. Your single call to action right now is to start with that second bank account. Go online and open it today. Give it a clear name, like your wealth fund or your freedom account. Once it is open, fund it immediately with whatever your chosen percentage is, even if it is just 10% of what you have right now. Taking that one simple action today is the first real move toward building a completely different financial life.